What's going on, everyone? So the Philadelphia 76ers are 1-3 after dropping a game to the Detroit Pistons. They lost to the Detroit Pistons, handing Detroit their first win of the season. Look, it doesn't get much worse than this, right? Philadelphia, they're a team that's supposed to be up in the standings. They're a team that is supposed to be looked at as a true title contender. That's why they went and got guy in Paul George. They have, at least on paper, quite the depth, quite the overall roster and team, and they have three guys in Maxey, Paul George now, and Joel Embiid that should be enough to put you atop the standings. And unfortunately, their two main stars are completely unreliable, and you're now seeing this Sixers team get behind the eight ball just like they did last year. Same story, same script as last year, although they started off really good in the beginning. Then injuries happen. Next thing you know, you're looking at a play-in team. And once again, that's what Philadelphia is without Joel Embiid and particularly without Paul George. And this is the issue with these guys and why I said before the season even began, I can't put Philadelphia there until I start to see it. Right? On paper, Philadelphia makes all the sense in the world. On paper, Philadelphia should be, at worst, top 3 team behind Boston and the Knicks, but could even potentially be up there with Boston. Right? You think Tyrese Maxey and his abilities to score the basketball, make plays, Paul George, still one of the premier two-way guys in the league, a guy that can go win you a game by himself, and then Joel Embiid is one of the top 3 to 5 players in the entire league when he's healthy and is able to play to his ability. But you can't count on these two. I mean, the season has just began, and you're 4 games in, and you don't have your 2 stars. Right? It's not like just Joel Embiid or just Paul George. You literally don't have either of them. And how reliable are they going to be throughout the course of the season? And it's not as simple as like, if they're, as long as they're healthy come playoffs, then yeah, but you need to build reps. You need to build chemistry. Right? It's not going to, we've seen time and time again teams put names on jerseys all on the same roster, and it doesn't translate to championship level success. And that's what Philly is. They're championship or bust. This isn't a team that, wants to make it out of the first round or the second round. They have been a second round team their entire existence, right? Like, this is a team that is looking to finally try to get over that hump. It's why they pushed the chips in to go get Paul George. It's why they have the roster that they have. And the idea is, like, if these two can get healthy, these two can get right and give you, at least, 60 games, hopefully, 65, right? So that maybe you get some accolades and stuff, but, at least a large majority of the season. The idea is that if these two can provide that for you, if these two can be healthy enough throughout the course of the season to, have you be at least a top 4 seed, so you at least have home court in the first round, and then, depending on how things shake up, a couple dominoes fall your way, you're in the conference finals, and maybe even in the NBA finals. Right? Now, there's concerns, period, once you even get to the playoffs, right? One, you still got to get to the playoffs, and if Paul George and Joel Embiid can't stay healthy, well then, good luck getting to the playoffs or the play-in, right? That's the last thing you want is to be a play-in team, because then you got to play extra games, and you're counting on 2 guys that don't have the greatest health and injury history, even especially in the playoffs. Joel Embiid is injured every playoff run. Paul George has had his injury issues come playoff time, and these are 2 guys that are known to completely disappear in the playoffs. Now you have a high-stake game where, if you lose 1 or 2 straight games, that's it. You're going home. You don't even make the playoffs. And Philly's a team I could see doing that, as crazy as it may seem, because you just look at this team on paper. Paul George is expected to be back sooner rather than later, and sooner than Joel Embiid, at least it's what it appears like. But, the problem is, for how long? Same thing with Joel Embiid. How long until they're out again? Right? Paul George, it's not like he has this pristine injury history and it's just this was just a fluke moment, right? He'll be back. He'll be fine. No, this is something that you saw regularly that the Clippers had an issue with. I still think the Clippers made the wrong decision. I still think the Clippers should have kept Paul George. Not only should they have kept Paul George, if they did want to move off of him, they should have traded him. The Warriors were willing to sign and trade for him. I don't think that the Clippers should have just let Paul George walk for nothing, but it's neither here nor there, right? This is about the Sixers. Sixers benefit, at least on paper, benefit from the Clippers' poor decision making, right? But they don't benefit if Paul George can't stay on the basketball court. When he's on the basketball court, he's the guy that go get you, 30 on any given night, defend the best player on the other team, gives you true size at the wing, defend essentially 1 through 5. Right? This is a guy that just would give you so much versatility out there for the Sixers. I mean, he is like the ideal fit alongside of Joel Embiid, and then you add in Tyrese Maxey. It's just like those three alone should be able to get you close to a championship. And it's just like you add in the depth that they have, you add in the versatility that they have, all of a sudden you could be hoisting Larry O'Brien when it's all said and done. But again, Paul George, how long is it going to be before, how many games is he going to give you? And if he's giving you like what he did last year, what he played, like 70-something, 72 last year, something like that. If he's doing that, and this is just a little hurdle, right, it's just a little, little bump on the road, then fine. Right? In hindsight, maybe looking back, it'll be like, at least Paul George was healthy most of the season. Because you at least need two of them. Right? You need at least a Tyrese Maxey who is hopefully going to play, at least 70-plus games and is going to be able to stay healthy. I mean, it also, again, depends on how reliable are your stars, your other two stars. If Tyrese Maxey's having to overextend and overwork himself to try to just keep you afloat because your two main guys can't do it, then, how long until he ends up being out? Because as long as you have like a Maxey and a Paul George, or you have a Maxey and a Joel Embiid, then you're fine. You're in good shape. But really, I mean, this all falls on Joel Embiid. Like, Joel Embiid needs to stay healthy. Joel Embiid needs to figure it out one way or another. I mean, this is a guy that isn't known for playing 70, 80 games every season. Right? And this is a guy that, MVPs, arguably best player in the league when healthy and fine, yet can't seem to get you out of the second round. Right? Like, who cares what you do in the regular season? When you come to the playoffs, he either is healthy or unhealthy, or he just completely disappears. And you're the franchise player. You're the process. They spent years waiting for you to come around because they believed you were the guy to lead Philly to the promised land. And yet, he's the most unreliable star in the league. Every year, it's the same thing. Every year, it's a problem. Every year, it's an issue. And it's just like, yeah, he's winning MVPs and he's doing all this stuff, but at what point does none of that matter? At what point is it like, yeah, but you don't have the one thing that really matters? Yeah, you got a lot of great individual accolades, congrats. But Joel Embiid at this point is going to go down as the greatest, if not one of the greatest players ever to not win an NBA championship. And it's crazy because he's had so much talent over the years. He's had enough to get over the hump. I mean, he's been favorite in series that he's lost. But drops it to, Philly or Miami, right? Or, blows it to Toronto. And it's just, at what point does Joel Embiid finally try to figure some stuff out here? Whatever you got to do, stay healthy. And then even when you are healthy, show up and play, right? Especially come playoff time. They need you. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think Philly is cooked? Do you think like they're done? It's a wrap for them. Do you think they'll get healthy, they'll get right, and then they'll be in good shape and be contending for an NBA championship? Do you trust Joel Embiid and Paul George? Do you trust them enough to stay healthy enough this season to have them at least be a playoff team, and then potentially a contender? Or do you think, you just can't trust them to stay healthy, and then even if they do stay healthy, you can't trust them come playoff time? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.